Hello lovely friends, how are you all doing? I do hope you're well. Long time no see, it feels like. So, we're going to go out into the garden in a minute. I'm going to do a sort of tour. It's right at the end of September. It's not when I normally do a tour, but okay, let's go back a step. I've got to get my thoughts together. Normally I get my thoughts together as I'm walking down here and I think, right, I know what I'm going to do, I know what I'm going to show you. So I had all my thoughts together, but then I've just spent the loveliest half an hour or so sitting outside my shed, talking to a couple of friends, chewing the fat, great. So all my thoughts have gone out my head. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is this. Even if you don't follow me on Facebook, you will have noticed in the last couple of weeks there's only been one video. Normally I do 3 videos a week. So there was one video about, by the time you see this, I think it will have been a whole week ago. I haven't been to the garden for 10 days. Crazy. Very simply, life outside of the garden, personal life got really crazy bonkers again. Really, really, really crazy bonkers. I'm exhausted. I've been just on the go every day for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's just how it is. The reason I'm mentioning that is A, because of the lack of videos, and B, because of the type of video I'm going to make today, and C, the fact that it's kept me away from the garden again for 10 days, like I said. Now, the last time I was in the garden, brilliant sunshine, blue skies, getting on for 30 degrees centigrade, crazy. Now, we may have some issues with sound, it's a bit blowy, but oh my goodness, the weather's changed completely. We've had a couple of days of really, really lashing rain, non-stop rain for 2 days, and at times, so it's been raining all the time, but at times there have been a couple of separate occasions on these 2 days where the rain has suddenly been unbelievably heavy. Monsoon rain, biblical rain, whatever you want to call it, so heavy. And I started to think, oh my goodness, the garden's going to have taken a battering. The wind and the rain, it's still just about standing. It is not ideal to take 10 days away from the garden at this time of year. Frankly, it's not a good idea to take 10 days away from the garden, whether it's March or, basically from March right through to October. For a productive kitchen garden, taking 10 days off at any time of the year is just not viable. It just doesn't work. If you want to take 10 days off, do them November, December, January, February. But we know that that's how my year has turned out. It's just how it is. I've tried to make the most of it, and I think I have made the most of it. So, one of the jobs, it's getting really hooly out there. One of my priority jobs today was mentioning this really, really heavy rain we've had for 2 days. Having had all that gorgeous sunshine. It's dry today, but we're due to have another week or so of rain. So one of my priority jobs now is to harvest dry things. Essentially my dry beans. Hopefully they've dried out a bit today. Just get the pods off and indoors. I don't want to leave them out there getting soaked over and over again, because, they'll go mouldy, they'll rot, what have you. So what I thought we'd do today, just as a bit of get my head back into the garden space, get my head back into making a video. I don't know when the next one will be, because again, things are getting really, really tight. But for today, sorry, out of the corner of my eye, can you hear Rusty's purring? For today, I thought what we'll do is I'll show you a couple of things that have happened that you haven't seen. we'll pop into the garden, see where things are at right at the end of September, and to just assess what are the priority jobs for this time of year. First of all, I'm going to quickly show you a couple of things in the shed. What I'm really, really glad about is, and again, it's not something you saw on video, the last time I was here, 10 days ago, I had one priority job to do, and one job only, and it took me hours. The priority job was to harvest Gary's lavender. So he'd offered me to have all his lavender, which is brilliant. In return, I'll prune his hedge bushes for him. I knew he was keen to get that done because he's in that tidy up mode. So time was running out, and I knew that I had this big chunk of time where I wasn't going to be free to be in the garden. So I thought, right, make that the priority. And oh my goodness, I'm so glad I did, because I've got a gorgeous harvest in before this rain and foul weather happened. So, oh, I see. I thought, who's that wandering around? It's my friend Sheena. So yes, without further ado, let me show you what's been going on in the shed. Couple of nice harvests, and then we'll go up the garden and just hope that this weather hasn't been too destructive. I haven't even looked yet, so we'll look at it together. Well, obviously the most important job of the day, isn't it, buddy, is to give you, I can't speak today, give you a few nibbles to enjoy. That's not what I was going to show you. We have a very full drying rack at the moment. All along the top, bags and bags and bags of lavender, and underneath, tons and tons of bags hanging. You can see it's absolutely chock-a-block with them. It's like Narnia with bags of lavender, and yes, it smells amazing, absolutely amazing. So there's a load, I think I counted them, what is it, 6, 12... 20, oh, it's over 20 bags, and again a load more here. They're sort of, the bags are hanging 3 deep here, so it's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 along the top. What's that? 15, 18, 21, 22, and then 23, 24, and I've got a couple of bags at home as well. Also hanging are a bag of celery seed, a bag of calendula seed, a bag of calendula petals. Yeah, it's that time of year for drying. Oh, thank goodness. I mean, this is such beautiful stuff. Let's see if I can. Oh no, I won't disturb it. But yeah, thank goodness I got it all harvested before the rain came. I tried to leave a little gap here, thinking, oh, I've still got a little gap to, sit here, headspace for doing the videos, but it's too claustrophobic. You can also see now I've bagged up, hung up my onions. There's some there and some there. Oh my goodness, sorry Rusty. Did I frighten you, disturb you? Again, I've got a ton of onions at home too, but then also over here. Oh, isn't that a lovely sight? Isn't that, oh, red onions, they're just so beautiful, aren't they? I mean, how crazy good is that? So, some reds there, the last few whites here. Beautiful. That so the reason I'm mentioning the onions as well is because to get the lavender, I had to get all the onions off and just give them their final bit of sort of treatment for storage. I don't know if you can make out on here. So all I do is I give the next sort of final twist, trim off the excess, trim off the roots, and then sometimes some of the outer leaves fall off. So yeah, that all got done. It took me ages, you wouldn't believe it, but it took me about 2 hours to do all the onions. And then, like I said, I was harvesting the lavender I think it took me about 2 hours to harvest. give this shed a bit of a clean, get them all hung up. Took me about another... Anyway, I was here all day, just onions, just doing onions and lavender. But I'm absolutely chuffed with those harvests. Right, shall we go and have a little wander in the garden, buddy? Shall we go and see what's what in the garden? Oh, did you hear my belly rumble? Or are you going to have a little kip? You're going to stay here, have a little kip while we all go into the garden. All right, handsome boy. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, that's better, isn't it? Oh, have a nice little rest, buddy. Gosh, it really is quite windy today, so apologies in advance for sound issues. Oh, my cosmos have been pushed over. I'll find a stick, get them tied up. Need to do some deadheading with them. In terms of jobs, weeding, I mean, look at the state of my path, but still not a priority. Parsnips, they're all growing away fine. The calendula that had its big trim, yeah, it's all sprouting nicely. Priority jobs though, that's what we're all about at the moment. Let me come this way. Chickpeas. Look, that's the middle of the chickpea bed. They've all been absolutely bashed and flattened down. They're right across the path into the calendulas. Yeah, they are a priority. I'd like to get them green. Some of them have dried, but yeah, get them green before they're dry and the mice have them. Another priority job, this is all the rock and core. These are all dried beans now, as you can see. I would have liked to have had them as waxy yellow pods. Missed the boat when I was away in July and again in August. Never mind, that's seed saving, and whatever beans I can get from them for drying, I will. Other jobs, the chard is, oh look, the chard is more than fine. Gorgeous, gorgeous monsters. Then, beetroot, I can see a couple have been attacked. Oh, look at the size of the hole in that one. Oh, you cheeky whoever you are. I think I'm going to have all of these out now, what's left. Get the peppers out and chopped up. That's just the pepper material. Oh, I can harvest a couple more calendula flowers. Yay! Oh my goodness, the sun's come out now. It's going to be so bright. Oh yes, beautiful thing. So with these couple of plants here, deadhead, harvest, what have you. Purple sprouting broccoli. Oh, this wind. You can see it's up to the top of the nets now. So in the next few days I need to observe to see what's happening with the cabbage white butterflies, because I'd like to get all my nets off really soon. I think that's going to be in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, they need a bit of space. They've done great. Oh, another priority, main crop potatoes out. Yeah, get those out because I need to prep this bed so that I can plant garlic. Again, the garlic will go in a couple of weeks' time. Yeah, so priorities for this bed. Chickpeas out, rock and core out, main crop potatoes out, food, great. Leftover pepper material, plant material out, chopped, mulched on top. Good. Cavallo Nero. Yay! Oh my goodness, I need to lift these nets. When I put this little bottle on the top of that, there's a bean cane in there. When I put that on about 3 weeks ago, I did it because the whole net was sagging. Look how much they've grown, and they're pushing the nets right off. That's why I want to get the nets off. I want to give them space to grow. Isn't that lovely with this light through it? Yeah, you beauties. Okay, not a priority job, but a job to keep an eye on. Oh, I've just seen some cabbage whites. So, I'm never going to... Oh, no, it's gone. So, yeah, not a priority, but definitely in the next 2 weeks. This bed I need to chuck a load of mulch on and get it covered. Not a priority, next couple of weeks. Celery, I'll start picking soon. Good. Also in the next couple of weeks, this is my spare squash. Look, that's the black futsu. Oh, and a courgette. Oh, but it's had a nibble. Yeah, so again, it's not quite a priority. It's probably evident that the priority is getting dried stuff harvested now. Things like the squash, anything that's still green, I'm not quite so worried about. Give it another couple of weeks. But yeah, it won't be long before it's time to do the squash harvest. Yay! Yay for brassicas filling up the tunnels. Oh, I'm so glad. These went in so late and they were so tiny. These are Cabbage. The other reason I want to get the nets off is so you can see these beautiful plants. Cabbage there, and this is all the Savoy cabbages. Again, they're really, let me see if I can show you this way. They are growing. They're growing and growing and growing. Beautiful. Just sort of having a quick glance at them, they do all look, they all look healthy and well and growing away nicely. Oh, I love the moment each autumn when I can get the nets off, because think about it, look, nets. It's all we're seeing is nets and or dyeing material. Get these nets off so we can enjoy the sight of beautiful, healthy, growing, robust plants. Can't wait. Stop digressing, Vivi. Next priority job, big priority job. This is one for the next couple of days. All these beans, masses of them. And they were, you see, this is what I mean. Before I left 10 days ago, they were all really, really dry. Coming back today, and the beans, they're dry. They're dry enough to pick. Well, what I mean is they're dry. They're at that stage where if we weren't having bad weather, I would leave them. I'd leave them all for another 2, 3, maybe even 4 weeks, just to keep drying on the plants. However, with all of this rain, I'm not going to risk it. I'm going to have a big pick and get them off. This bed, no priorities here. Again, like I was mentioning with the next door bed, all of this, I'm in a tangle. All of this is going to be hard to make them out. I can see them, but this is all little squashes, and a slightly bigger squash. So none of, oh my goodness, I hadn't realised. I've not seen that one. I thought this was my Muscat de Provence. I've got 2. Would you Adam and Eve it? Oh, that's what I love about this time of year. The foliage is disappearing, so I'm getting to see my squash. But I'm also getting to see my weeds. I mean, look at my... Have you ever seen my path so full of weeds? It's awful. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. But not a priority. This year has definitely been the year of prioritising, with huge chunks of time missing, and then even when I do have some time, it's short. It's got to all be about prioritising. These lovely little black futsu, they're starting to ripen. Like I said, 0 priorities in this bed. The next lot of priority, beans, they're good for your heart. So what I will do, because I'm going to take them off, normally, like I said, I'd leave them for another 3-4 weeks, but because I'm going to have them off fairly soon, and because, I can just feel that dampness on them, what I'll do is I'll take all the actual pods off, take them home, spread them out on newspaper, in the living room, still in their pods, until I've got time to actually pod them. Normally what I would do is, like I said, leave them to dry on the vines, take them home, pod them straight away, spread the beans out on trays. Might do a combination of both. But yeah, I'm reluctant to... Oh, look at this sight of view. These are Trail of Tears. Oh, I'm trying to get you in there. Ooh, they're not quite dry and rattly yet. Not quite ready. These were a bit of a disaster this year because of slug damage. But the ones I have got, I'm very happy to see. So that's the rest of this department. This is all priority. Look at the ballottis. They're getting darker and darker. Oh, yes. Oh, I love that sound. What I might do is have a bean set... Oh, I nearly fell into the bed. I might have a session, and we can talk about drying for food, drying for seed saving, storing in general, picking demi-sec, which is when they're still green, all those differences. Yeah, we'll have a little sesh. I don't know if it'll be today though. The Churchill Black, I've thoroughly stripped this side. Let's just come through. Oh, it is a little bit of a jungle. And these ones that remain are my seed savers. See, what's interesting, look how black that is. I can still feel a little bit of moisture in the pod, and the beans are still plump, no rattle. But look, as they get really, really dry, the pods are going a sort of pale brown. Intéressant. Right, the Coco de Pampol. I've done about 4 pickings now. I've done a few more pickings off camera. I think I did a big picking on a lavender day. They're getting to the stage where... Oh, I'll have another look through. I'll have a thorough look through. But we're getting to the stage now where I shall leave loads now for seed saving. Unlike with these ones that I want to get off and get home quite quickly because of the rain, I don't mind leaving these with the rain because there's a lot of them that they're just not at that. Let me see if I can show you an example. They're not at the dry and rattling stage yet. So another week of rain, the plants will continue to sort of grow. Well, not grow really now, but the beans will continue to swell. So that's fine. That can wait. All of the horizontal squash bed, that can wait. So yeah, it's clear, isn't it? It's clear that in the next few days I'm picking dry stuff, but then in the next 2 weeks or so it's all going to be about squash, oy vey, taking structures down, getting nets off. It will really be a big difference in the next couple of weeks, I hope. Oh, and get broad beans planted, garlic planted. Whoa, look at these kale. I don't know if you're going to get a sense of it, but look how much they've grown. They've lifted the nets. They're doing really well. Look, bursting. So I'm kind of scooting around all of this quickly because it's more just what on earth has happened to the garden in the last 10 days without me? What do I need to do? Rather than being an in-depth tour, we'll do that in a few days. The long peppers, they can come out, be chopped, mulch. Load of work to do in the herb garden. Harvest the French lavender, prune, biggie pruny. Let's come this way. Big prune of the hyssop. Oh my goodness, that hyssop has massively spread and splayed. On this side, you can see it's completely crushed, this French lavender. Big prune of that. Prune the marjoram, prune the peppermint. Oh, deadhead chives. Yeah, a general tidy up. Probably the deck will need... Oh my goodness, all this standing water in these trays. It really has wellied down. It will also be time soon to think about getting the geraniums home to overwinter. But I don't know if you remember last year, if anyone watched, I thought I'd try and overwinter them in the shed. The thing was, they rotted, because I think when they went into the shed they were a bit too damp. So I'll get these out of these trays. And what I'm thinking this year is, because I keep mother plants at home, so I've always got a backup, I'm going to experiment with these this year and see if I can overwinter them in the cold frame. So the cold frame isn't heated, it's not a huge amount of protection, but it's just a little bit. Oh, and the lovely rose cuttings from Paul. They're looking happier for being tied up. Yeah, they were really, really, really dry after my long absence, but they've properly perked up. Oh, and how's that blueberry looking? It's so shed, whereas its little compatriot over here, still so much green on it. It's definitely that time of year, isn't it? It's getting into the tidy, tidy, tidy stage. Oh, but look at this verbena. Isn't it beautiful still? Oh, so pretty. That will all stay for the finches, all the seeds. Oh, what else? Is there any other jobs I need to be thinking about? You can see I've started to bring down here loads of cardboard, preparing for covering my beds. The squash that I was allowing to creep through the cold frame, they're not going to come to anything, so I'm going to trim these back. I might just do that now actually. Trim them back so that any last bit of energy can go into somewhere in here. There are fruits developing. Where are the fruits? I had one. Oh yeah, there's one of them. Oh, so pretty with the nasturtiums in this light. Oh my goodness. Is that a picture of autumn? Look at that biggie there. Whoa, yeah. Oh, that's quite a big one too. Yay. Right, no more squash, Vivi, not till the squash harvest. But yeah, the ones that are into the cold frame, if I just get them trimmed back, then I can also give that grass a bit of a trim. Want to harvest a load of rosemary, and oh, the smell in harvesting, get some cuttings. Is that a priority? Well, it's harvest. Harvest is always priority. The Taunton Dean, which you saw me give a steak to, 3 weeks ago, is doing great. Apart from, you see on this side, being pecked and nibbled. I think it's because the pigeons can perch on here. Oh, never mind. Pigeons can have these, and I'll have this side. Okay, so that's just a quickie. I hope it was a quickie. Gosh, autumn really, really arrived, didn't it? Good. That's a really useful exercise to do out there. It's just go around, think about everything that needs doing, but what's the priority? And I've said a couple of times out there, it's obvious the priorities are the things which I want to be dry. Let's get them now before we have any more rain. And everything else will just come in due course as it normally would through October. So the big things for October, if you want to put it in your diary too, if you've got a similar climate, the big things will be to sow our garlic, plant our garlic, sow our broad beans, harvest our squash. Is that it? Basically finish harvesting. Finish harvesting anything that won't do over winter, and obviously those things which do over winter, the gorgeous brassicas, parsnips, carrots, if you're lucky enough to have them, we can just forget them, leave them alone, just harvest them as and when we need them. But yeah, October jobs, the last things to plant, garlic, broad beans. The last things to harvest is generally the squash. You might be lucky enough to still have a few tomatoes hanging around if you didn't get blight. Get all those last bits harvested now as we, throughout October. And then the other big thing in October is all those structures, the bean poles, the teepees, get them all down, give them a bit of a clean if they need it, they shouldn't do, get them down, get them stashed, get them tucked away safely for next year. I don't leave mine in the ground over winter because the bottoms will just rot off. The other thing that can happen is if I leave them all in the ground and they're getting a little bit soft in the soil at the bottom, for example, or if there's strong winds, they could snap and break. So yeah, get them all out before the worst of the weather comes. Get them stashed so they're safe and good to go, ready for next year. By the end of October, the garden will look so different. You know, suddenly we'll lose the height. The other thing in October, keep an eye for those cabbage white butterflies. Once they've disappeared, yay, nets off, can't wait. Get our nets stored away nicely, and hopefully when that happens it will be after a run of dry days, so when we're packing up our nets they are dry. So pack them up, they all get stashed in the shed over winter, ready for next year again. And the other, I think the final thing to think about through October, as everything is coming to an end, the things that will come to an end, of course we're continuing to think about seed saving, harvesting, seed saving, dismantling the garden. October is going to be crazy. Can't wait, can't wait. I'm really, really, really pushed for time again. So it may be that, I honestly don't know at the moment, but it may be that as we go through October, there are slightly less videos than usual. There may be times when I'm coming down here and I've got an hour and I've just got to crack on with a job and I don't have time. It's not about the time of actually setting the camera up, although it's time consuming. It's the time once I'm home to edit, render, upload to YouTube, etc., etc. If that's happening, what I will do is I will do a quick catch up later on. I am going to show you the chickpea harvest. I'll try and show you the potato harvest because we all love potato harvest. I'll show you the squash harvest. Anyway, listen, I'm waffling now. I'm really excited and happy to be back here today. There's going to be another little gap now where I'm not here. And I'm really, really, really working hard to... what I would really, really love, maybe in the second week of October, really love to have every single day here. That would be such a treat. Don't know if it's possible. I'm going to try for it. So, I don't know what the next video will be. I don't know when it will be. Thank you so much for joining me again today. Thank you for your patience with me, because I know I've been a bit AWOL. That's going to continue a little bit. But I'll see you soon for something. So until then, please look after yourselves. Enjoy this fresh autumnness we're getting. Blustery, blowy days. It blows away all the cobwebs, doesn't it? Enjoy whatever harvesting you're still getting. Hopefully we'll all be doing our squash harvest soon, so we can... I'll put some pictures on Facebook when that happens too, so we can all share our pictures there together. Can't wait. For now though, I need to get out there and I need to get picking. So, for now, it's cheerio from me and cheerio from him. He's off. From Rusty. See you soon, everyone. Take care.